Hi, I'm Angela Godwin with Water World Magazine, coming to you from the opening reception here at the Blue Tech Forum in Vancouver, Canada. Joining me this evening is my guest, David Henderson. He is with XPV Water Partners. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, a lot of times people talk about XPV as the water guys, but how do you differentiate yourself in this market?
Well, I think the biggest differentiation in this market is that we're really not private equity guys. We are actually part of the sector. We've worked hard to build our sector knowledge, our ecosystems, our partnerships, and as you know, we're solely focused on this sector. So we feel that we're actually part of the water ecosystem versus an outside financer coming in. That's why I think we get known as the water guys.
Right, that makes sense. So what are you looking for when you're trying to build your portfolio? What are you looking for in technologies or in companies?
You know, at the end of the day, we're obviously looking for what a lot of investors are looking for. It's obviously great emerging companies. But we try to think really carefully about what are the emerging niches or sectors within the water sector itself, or companies related to water processes, and that's where we focus most of our attention. Like, how do we find those companies that we think have the ability to outgrow the market?
Excellent. So let me ask you, business model versus technology.
Yep.
What's more important?
Well, they're both important, but you know, one of the things I've learned probably with over my 10 years of experience now, folks in this water sector, the business model is very important. The ability to scale a water technology the ability to scale a technology in the water sector, I think is incredibly important. And that really comes down to the business model. So one of the things we've definitely tried to do, especially with emerging entrepreneurs, is really try to help them understand, like, look, you have great technology, and again, there's a lot of fantastic emerging technologies coming up, but you got to really figure out how do you scale that in this market, because this market has very unique dynamics.
So last thing I want to ask you before I let you go, when we talk about connected technologies or IoT, tell me, in your opinion, what's the role that's going to play in the water market in terms of what it could solve, the impact it could have?
Well, one of my beliefs is that when you think about water and historically how we've built a lot of our technologies and theses around how you approach water problems, it's been a lot of guesswork. Okay, so hydraulic models in general are guesswork. While the interesting thing about IoT and data, it's going to take all the guesswork out. So I actually think we're in for a pretty interesting evolution in how we look at water challenges and problems, because we're going to move from being guessing to understanding and having real data. And I think that's going to create a lot of really interesting opportunities and a lot of disruption. But I think both are good.
Excellent. Sounds like really exciting stuff on the horizon. So, David, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Wish you all the best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
For Water World Magazine, I'm Angela Godwin.